Hello, legendary tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Quest III in the Castle of Baramos. To be fair, specifically, Floor 4, not Baramos, Zoma. Look, Baramos, Zoma, they're basically the same thing. Welcome back, everybody! What's that sound? What's that fight? Look! A man is fighting the Hydra all by himself! He's been doing this all day long while you waited for this video. Ortega and King Hydra prepare to do battle. We finally caught up. Ortega is pretty awesome. He's the first person we've ever seen dodge an attack by jumping out of the way and do a jump attack. Ooh, Flame Breath. That's pretty brutal. King Hydra's. Don't worry. Heal More would heal him about 80. He'd be at pretty much full health. He has lightning. I haven't even shown this spell off. That's the hero spell that Blue learned. The Hydra resists it a bit. No, Ortega! Out of MP! You shouldn't waste your MP on lightning. It's not a single target spell. Save it for heals. Use your wizard ring. Holy! Save my dad. Dobry, please. You guys didn't do anything. Ugh. It's all over for me. Everything's getting blurry. I can't even hear anything. Is someone there? Please, I need you to deliver a message for me. I'm Ortega of Aliahan. If, happen to go to Aliahan someday, please tell my child Blue what has become of me. My only regret is never being there. We finally caught up with him. After all this time, he didn't run away from home to get coffee. He didn't go to buy milk and never came back. He was down here fighting the good fight all these years. It took him a little bit longer than us. We caught up with him pretty quick, honestly. Only for him to die to a King Hydra, just as we could have shown up to save the day. That King Hydra's gonna die. It's gotta die. I have to admit, it hits... First time I saw that, it hit pretty close. Hit pretty hard. I got it, you know, like... Compared perhaps to some of the later Dragon Quest series entries... specifically Dragon Quest V, you know, there's more emotional impacting cutscenes in the future. But that was still pretty brutal early on. This is perhaps the first big gut-wrencher in a Dragon Quest game. Probably the first big one. Well, Dobry, that was not your best HP or... You got all this wisdom. Where's your actual MP? Hey, you learned Blazemos. That's actually pretty good. Arrowcross and Blazemos. So Arrowcross is also Infernmost, the strongest cleric tornado wind spell. And then Blazemos is our strongest single target spell. It's also fire, of course. Holly does not get great stats either. Gets Blazemos, but no Arrowcross. Okay. We're learning lots of cool spells. Maybe we should... Nah, we don't need to heal. We'll be fine. There's going to be 6 treasures on this floor, so we've got to keep our eyes open. Salamanders are surprised. They are surprised by the anger in Blue's eyes, who just saw his father brutally murdered by monsters in front of him, while his teammates did nothing to heal him. Blue is enraged. All monsters must die now. Apparently I went the wrong way. Oh yeah, I was going to talk a little bit. Now that the moment is over. I'll just talk a little bit. What I was thinking is I wanted to talk a little bit about the balance of the game. I've talked about it plenty, I'm sure. But now that we're in the final dungeon, it's pretty clear. Flamerangs are very overpowered, and having a thief with like 2 characters with Flamerangs is really, really strong. If you're playing the NES version, you would not have access to this much easy multi-target damage. You would have to use magic for multi-target, which is probably better balanced. There is still whips, I think, that do multi-target, but they're not nearly as strong. There's no Gringham whip. There's no Parcheesi. There's no special female-only armor that gives you all the status protections. And I think your non-hero characters, they act randomly, I think, in the NES version. I can't remember if you could give them commands individually back then. Pretty sure most of the NES Dragon Warrior games, the first 4, you could only control your hero. The rest were auto-controlled, I think. So it was a lot harder to force increase, like to guarantee that we got the buffs up or cast the right spell or whatever. I can't remember 100%. I might be wrong. I forget which Dragon Quest was the first one to allow you to control your characters, but I think it might have been Dragon Quest 4, actually, before you could control your Dragon Warrior 4 for North America, before you're actually able to give commands to everybody. But I could be wrong on that one. Anyway, Super Nintendo, clearly you can control everyone like a normal Super Nintendo JRPG. Check this basement here. Okay, that's the staircase. There are some very important chests on this floor, though, you don't want to miss, so we're gonna go find them. So yeah, in terms of balance, because we have so much cheap multi-target, and we can force our companions to do sensible things, we are cutting through these fights pretty easily. It's really the bosses that are going to be the big test. But if you were playing on the NES, you probably would have a higher enemy encounter rate, I think. And you'd probably have to rely on offensive magic a lot more to win these fights. Oh, that was just a dead... Oh, they're right in the middle! Of course they are. All the way around the outside, never went to the center. Not that I'm, complaining or anything. When I'm playing a video game like this for Let's Play, I have a hard time not picking the stronger path. Like, I do understand that sometimes for, like, entertainment, for like, making a good show, so it's more, it's less guaranteed that we're going to win the game or whatever, you might not want to always take the strongest options, so it's a little bit more, risky, like there's a little bit of danger. But I have a hard time foregoing a clearly superior choice, just personally. So like, if the Flamerang is the best general purpose weapon, why wouldn't I get it and use it all the time? Like, it's not cheating, it's not an exploit. So I feel like I should have it. But I do understand that it probably limits some of the battle tactics. Like, we talked a little bit before about, winning battles quickly so that we don't waste too much airtime. I still stand by that. But it's also hard to, like, make them slower and more tactical just by choosing dumb options, like only using, no multi-target weapons, or, focusing more on different party composition that with a bigger emphasis on magic or something would just be harder. Oh yeah, before we get to the final boss, I should probably distribute the Yggdrasil leaves for emergencies. Also, more wizard rings, and also, maybe life stones? Ah, that's the big one there. Good. Okay, Sage's Stone is very important. This is essentially an infinite in-battle heal us. So 80 HP to the whole party every round for free, if you want. Just for the cost of a turn. Of course, one of the chests was a mimic. But, yeah, essentially, I think we can... You know what? I wonder if Holly should probably go before Blue now with her agility. So Blue, if he goes before the mimic, should definitely kill it. Yeah. Now that we've got all this speed and by kill, we should not have to worry about mimics very much. Because that's a pretty good trick. Anyway, so let's look at some items here quick. Let's clean up a little. We're not quite at the final boss just yet, but I want to make sure we're ready to go here. So the Life Stone, I think that's what I was about when I interrupted myself. The Life Stone does do what I thought it did. It protects the user from instant death attacks. So, and I did read about it. It's not if they cast defeat on you, the Life Stone breaks immediately. It's if they cast defeat or beat or whatever, whack, And it was going to work, as in it won its low percentage odds. It's probably like a 1 in 10 or maybe 1 in 5 chance of hitting you. If it would apply the instant death effect, then the life stone protects you, but breaks. So it's actually a pretty good item. You might not want to... Is that still Fella's second strongest? I'm still not sure if I want Falcon Swords or not. Man, Fella's got a lot of good stuff. I'm gonna store my Yggdrasil leaves in the bag for now, but I might want to consider doling those out by the end of the game. Anyway, that's enough for now. There's only so many inventory slots, but I might want to bring everyone a life stone and an Yggdrasil leaf for the final old bosses. So what else was I talking about? Oh yeah, Sage Stone. So Sage Stone, really good. If you're playing on the NES version especially, it is pretty much mandatory. And even on the Super Nintendo version, it's certainly huge value. So one thing you could do, especially if you're playing on the NES where things are much more difficult, you might want to consider at this point, now that you have the Sage's Stone, actually escaping the dungeon, resting up to get your MP back, and starting over. Because your second trip through this first, we're about maybe halfway through. Your second trip, you can just use the Sage's Stone to heal rather than MP. So you'll get to the same point here with a lot more MP in the bank, because you won't have to cast heal at all, or very little anyway. Now, because of the life rings and the regeneration, it's not such a big deal. But we could just have Holly Sage Stone every single turn now. And that will probably, I'm not going to do that necessarily, but I'm just saying, that would probably make any one random battle pretty much trivial. And that's why I gave her the Starry Ring. You've got a Sage, could be anybody, but you've got someone with near max agility, so they usually go first. They can cast Sage's Stone before any enemies go. Also, maybe I was more than halfway through the dungeon. Let me, okay. Can't use that spell here. Really? Is this as far as it goes? I'm sure there's more to this dungeon than this, isn't there? I mean, heck, if this is it, this is it. I'm going to put a save down just, just in case. It certainly looks like a boss pedestal. Well now. Is it time for Zoma, everybody? Maybe. Maybe not. That might be him. Maybe. Oh, well, Blue, I welcome you to your grave. It is I, Zoma, who will bring about the destruction of the worlds. All life shall perish as the world sinks into a state of despair. And you will be my sacrifice. Come, my servants, make them suffer. Oh, look! Oh, look who it is! King's Sword, fight! This is why I have the Dragon Claw still. Fight! Spells! I don't really want to burn too much MP on this guy. Spoiler alert, there's more than one, boss fight here at the end of the game. He definitely has a Fire Breath, but we would have to cast Barrier 4 times to get it on everybody. So I don't know if that's a great idea. Maybe we just try to focus... one casting of By-Kill on Fella and Blue is probably worth it. And honestly, his Fire Breath is not that bad, even if he double... remember Baramos' Fire Breath? That guy did way more damage than that. So... that's probably enough buffing, because I really do want to preserve our MP. Seeing as we ran out of MP when we fought Baramos, and we really haven't got a whole lot of level ups. And I didn't bring out any Yggdrasil leaves. And there's something else I was going to say. I was supposed to learn the Revive spell. We've seen enemies using the Revive spell, but we don't have it yet. So we have no guaranteed resurrection from magic. Anyway, we're getting revenge for our fallen father here. And I really don't want to waste MP. That's my, primary thing here. So that wasn't so bad. That was pretty easy. Why couldn't Ortega kill that guy? Okay, they good. So we don't just get kicked out immediately. So I think the idea is you could win a couple fights down here versus the first couple bosses, and you could still escape, heal up, and come back. I will still try to do it in one run if we can. Oh, look who it is! It's Barbados. It's Barabros. I don't think that's his proper name. Barabro. Alright. He's probably got some nasty stuff. Let's just buy kill. Does a lot of physical attacks. So if he does a lot of physical attacks, that means we should at least cast Increase twice. Increase is a pretty cheap spell, and it's really, really good, so... Oh, explode it. So it's magic damage, Fella's weakness, and also Holly's, because I didn't equip her water dress. Yeah, I maybe should have zipped over to that quicker. Now, explode it will not be fire or ice, so that won't help us here. I still think if we could sap him, it would be hilarious. And I think we can get away with a Sage's Stone this turn. Hilarious! Please don't double explode it, though. Gotta stop that. Alright, so this guy's pretty tough. Now, one thing that I'm curious about, I'm going to do one round, I'm going to pay attention to BlueAnkylo's attack with a sapped Barabro, and then I might try a Falcon Sword after that, actually. Also, let's max out our speed. I was thinking about trying to stop spell him, but I bet you the odds are just so small. I mean, oh, he's dead. Never mind. Classic. Alright, so I'm going to do some of the things I talked about now that we're here. I'm definitely going to go for magic defense on Holly, even though regeneration's cool and all. And the defense is nice, but I'd rather just cast Increase, which is easy, than try to cast Barrier. Daubry definitely does not need a Falcon Sword. I just want to free up some inventory space here. Sage's Staff is a free heal more, so it's not total garbage. It is on Holly, though, because she can just use the stone anyway. Let's see, what else do we got? Bella having an emergency revive. It's all good. We might want the Falcon Ring still. He does not need a Wizard Ring, though. I'm going to give those... I think I want maybe 2 Wizard Rings per person, maybe? We probably are never going to need the Flame Rings again either, so let's just clear up some space. Sorry, Flame Rings. Your time is over. It's time for bosses. Alright, so I might want Life Stones, healing, MP recovery, double attacks, protection from death. That's the kind of stuff I want to pull out here while we're prepping. I could also unequip the life rings and give us some of those other, like... Would it be worth it? Sure. I'm min-maxing to the max here. Like, this is more than necessary for sure. So, technically, Daubry could use a an accessory as well. The Gale Bandana might be the second best agility one. And honestly, getting her agility high enough to go possibly before the boss, especially with speed up, that has some value. So that could be the difference that makes things a little bit easier. Give up on the regeneration, just go faster in the battle. Alright, what else do we got in here that's good? So, we've got accessories dealt with. We probably want to bring... I mean, the Wizard Rings only matter if the fights go on really long and we start running out of MP. Although, can you use them here? You could use them from the menu. Okay, this is the smarter play. Instead of wasting a turn to heal 12 MP, we'll waste no time at all. Max out our MP here, and again before the boss fight if we have to. Like, before the final boss fight. Yeah, this is... Now, it also would make sense to go back and just use an in and come back. But this is more efficient for the Let's Play. And honestly, these things aren't breaking right away like I thought. I always thought they would break after like 3 uses. There, it finally broke one of the rings. That wasn't bad at all. That's kind of a waste here on blue. Anyway, so we're maxed out on MP. I still want 2 rings per caster just for emergencies, but that's fine. Cool. And then Yggdrasil leaves. We've actually got 3, even though traditionally you can only get 1 at a time. We found 2 in chests, so that's pretty good for emergencies. Anything else that might be helpful? Medical herbs aren't going to heal enough to really matter for the end game. Maybe having the ability to cure paralysis, and I don't think anything does, but we'll just give 1 chance for a non-sage to cure paralysis. I think that's probably as much as we probably want to do. I'll put another save down just so we don't have to redo everything. That'd be so annoying. Oh look, it's Bear Zombie. Basically, I think what it's supposed to be is one of them is his soul and one of them is his body. And, I guess, Zoma has apparently sort of revived Baramos after we killed him terribly. It's pretty harsh. Ooh! I didn't really heal before this fight, did I? Wowzers. Alright, so this guy might be all about them physical attacks. Well, Holly should go quickly, and she's got heal all now, so that should cover that. I mean, I'm certainly doing a lot of damage to this guy. Yeah, 100 damage to Fella is significant, indeed. Yeah, we can use some heal all here, that's fine. Alright, defense is maxed out. Offense is mostly maxed out. We could try some sap, because, well, that would truly max our attack out. He hasn't used any magic yet. He is, like, a skeleton, so I really don't think statuses are going to work amazingly, but... You know, once in a while, those things are amazing. Alright, double attacks. We still take big hits from those, but... Maybe we can get away with just using some Sage's Stone. I'm gonna try Sap a couple more times, just because it would speed this up so much. But I think, essentially, the Sage's Stone, like, now that we're all buffed up, I don't think he can out... Like, he can hit the same character twice, but I don't think he can really out-damage the Sage's Stone. Also, he's dead. Alright. We're doing fine. We're not clear yet, but we're working pretty quick. So we're almost maxed out. Let's one more time use a couple wizard rings here. That was... I didn't mean to... Oh, no, that was fine. Oh, I see. If you're holding it in your inventory, you can only use it on yourself. If you're using it from the bag, you can use it on whoever you want. That's neat. At least I'm using them. Remember when I Let's Play Dragon Quest II all those months ago? I didn't use a wizard ring a single time. So, anyway, one more save state just in case things go weird. I think we were like 1 or 2 levels up from learning the revive spell. So we are pretty under-leveled. But here we go. Blue, why do you persist? Your death is inevitable, and I shall see that your demise comes now. Destruction to all is my greatest joy. Time for boss fight. Custom boss battle music. And just so you know, in his current form, you would probably need to be level 60 or 80 or something to actually kill him. Don't try to fight him like this, guys. This would be a terrible time to fight him. Did you remember? Did you listen to Rubus and all those other people who told you tricks? They told you something very important. They told you to use the light orb. If you forget that, forget that. You know what? Forget that. Let's see what happens if we just fight him without it. I put his save state down. Bella takes 125 damage from wind. And then... it's not so bad. He has a lot of defense, though, guys. Did you notice how much defense he has? Like, maybe if I buy-kill Blue, we could potentially break it a little bit, because I do have a ridiculous attack. But I'm going to reload, in case you're wondering. I just wanted to show you just... He is really ridiculous if you don't Light Orb. 172 physical damage. Wow. Anyway, this was just for fun. There's his Dispel that gets rid of all of your status buffs. That's gonna rough. Anyway, let's not do that. That was just a showcase. But yeah, seriously, you should be using the Light Orb in case you're really wondering. Do I have any buffs at all? I never learned any good buffs. Blue is just healing and damage, basically. I learned debuffs. Yeah. Alright, just curious for the first round. Alright, let's get to it. Light Orb, go! And first and foremost, probably buff our defense, honestly. Where's my I got so many spells. Where's my increased spell? Defense. Sorry, not increased. Defense. Wait, no. That was defense down. Where's defense up? Sorry, this... Like, it takes so long to remember. There it is. Increase. That's not decrease. Alright, we're going to double increase on turn 1. But first... Get Light Orbed. Fool. Mwahaha! You did know the means of removing my barrier. But it's futile. Now struggle and suffer in my arms. Boss fight round 2. Also, different music. So this is Zoma's normal form that we have a chance at. Wish me luck, everybody. I'm pretty sure he regenerates about 110 HP per turn, if I remember correctly. Enough that you probably don't want to mess around. If you deal damage, you got to keep dealing damage. So you want to use your buy kills so you can actually hit him and hurt him. We got a lot of buffs to do. He still has a ton of defense. And we have double defense. Oh, well, he just got rid of all of our buffs like that. So now I think the basic premise is always double increase unless you need to heal after he does that Dispel. Because it's most important that you don't get one shot by his physical. And of course he's got, pretty powerful magic. But this is why we equipped all of our magic protection armor. It's pretty important. Alright. Blue attacks, fell attacks. Daubry. We're still going to go with buy kill. Now, if we can get him with a debuff, he won't be able to dispel those, so that would be advantageous. The thing is, it's random to possibly hit him with a debuff. We're definitely going to need to do some healing this turn. So I think we'll have Daubry. There's one more useful buff. Although we're pretty quick, I want to make sure we always go before him if we can. So let's get at least one level of speed up. And then I'm going to let Holly just do some casual heal us. Alright. We're doing about 300 damage per turn, which means actually about 200. Ooh, that wind attack on Fella is so brutal. Goodbye all of our buffs again. Shoot. Well, we're going to have to do some healing this time, so... Only one layer of increase, sadly. And we're going to just spam the Sage's Stone. If you get into a real pickle, you want to use your heroes heal us all, but... Not quite there. Man, we're getting murdered here. Yeah, Holly went after the boss. That was very unfortunate. Alright, we gotta keep damaging him, or else he's just gonna, out-heal us, out-regen. Come on, Holly. Thank you. You had to go before the boss this round, or we were in trouble. Ouch, so much damage. Okay, we got our defense up one layer, I think? Shoot, I can't remember if I've increased I think we've increased twice, so try to get some damage in there. And Holly is honestly going to be doing an awful lot of healing, so... Alright, there we go. At least we're dealing damage. The ridiculously brutal Ice Breath. Well, that's the problem with double turns. Like, Fella with no breath protection. Like, sure, if I could cast Barrier on him, that would have helped, but I didn't have enough time. So now we're in a pickle here. This is not good. And try to get Daubry up, and Holly is gonna just try to keep herself alive, actually. Alright. The ridiculous attack. I mean, maybe it's more important to try... Jeez, I didn't want to have to use these so early. It feels like I'm using the Yggdrasil leaves right away, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. Maybe we should try to get Fella barriered, but he's just gonna nullify it, right? Like... Alright, we're all alive. That's something. This is when Fella really would be better off having spells, because his attack is just not quite enough. I mean, he could help heal, and then Blue could just focus on damage, and we could... So we just got... shoot, we just got nullified again, right? I still feel like increase is the right way to start. But maybe magic damage is still worse than his physical. I don't know. He does do an awful lot of ice and wind damage. Now, actually, I'm not even 100% sure that this barrier will even affect his wind breath. But, you know, maybe we should test that out. Alright, we're healed up good. I didn't even see who we barriered. Maybe Blue? At least I'm still dishing out some damage. Sorry, Fella, you're just going to be on assistant heals for a little while here as we try to get ahead of this guy. I told you, Zoma is scary. And then nullified immediately, so barriers are gone as soon as we cast them. Alright, maybe we can get a barrier and an increase off. Okay, Blue got the barrier that time. I could at least read it in time. Good job, Fella. You dodged. That is really helpful. Honestly, for now you're just gonna keep healing your people. Yourself, you've got a lot more. You've got pretty high total HP, so you do that. Another barrier. Hopefully it goes on Fella. Did it just barrier myself twice? Like, what's the point of barrier if it only targets the same person every time? I mean, sure, I don't take very much damage from the gust, but I need other people to survive too. Come on, barrier somebody else, please. Come on, Daubry, you know what to do. Yeah, it's great when it works on me. It seems like it just barriers Blue every time. That's really lame. Alright. That's a real shame, because that could be such an awesome spell if you could target it. Because it does seem to make a nice difference. I think we've got to go for some lucky plays here, because we're not really making any progress on damaging the boss right now. He always disperses our buffs. And if we can't get some damage on him, he's just going to heal up to full. And we're just going to slowly run out of resources. We got his defense there. Maybe we should have done that immediately, because it's going to be a lot easier to hurt him with no defense. Maybe enough to consider the Falcon Sword, but I don't know. Let's boost our speed up a little bit. Keep Sages stoning. That's nice. Everyone's agility is basically maxed out. Should probably have killed by now. Fella is still going to focus on healing for a little bit longer. Daubry... One of my problems, of course, is I start to forget which buffs are up because he dispels them so often. And there's no... I don't think there's any in-game way to tell what spells are active. That's one thing Dragon Quest XI did a lot better. You could see what spells were, what buffs were in play. We might have enough. We probably could attack with Fellow this turn, but instead we're going to try to do two spells instead. So I'm going to cast Increase because I think I might have not cast it twice. And maybe we'll have, like, Holly cast Barrier. Maybe she will target someone else. It's still blue every time. And we did not max out our defense, so now it's gone completely. This guy's such a jerk. Alright, fella, back to healing. And Daubry back to defense, and Holly heals as usual. We just can't fall behind on the healing, basically. Especially when... Now, you know, here's something. The Icy Breath of Wind, it says it targets blue. But maybe... Or, sorry, the barrier says it targets blue. Maybe that actually does affect everybody. Because Fellow was taking 90 from the Icy Breath instead of 135. Because, like... You know what? Change of plan. For this turn, blue is gonna free heal everybody. Fella is gonna try to keep Holly alive until then. Daubry is gonna barrier everybody. And Holly is gonna try to get a heal in first before heal us all. Just in case we can survive. Alright, well, the heal us all works anyway. I think... Maybe I was confused. It says the barrier engulfs blue, but I have a feeling it engulfs everyone. So then it's a really good spell that you only have to cast once. It just doesn't display it quite the way I thought it did. That's fair. I'm okay with that. Okay. So that makes things a little bit easier. Let's focus back on trying to kill this boss. So we have one barrier up. That's all we need. I think this is our first or second agility, or first or second defense, I forget. And they're all gone immediately. And he gets his 136 damage on Fella as... And the bike. Everything is gone every turn. I guess getting barrier up is probably the most important protection. Because if he's just going to do this every turn then. But like if he ever does a double breath attack, there's just no way to really have Fella survive it, right? We're kind of at the mercy of how often he dispels us, though. As long as he dispels us every turn, we barely do as much damage as he can regenerate. But this turn should be positive. But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure he regenerates about 110 per turn. So, you know, we haven't made a whole lot of progress here. I guess we should go barrier into buy kill and leave the increase for after. Although, really, we do need that increase, don't we? Sheesh, so much damage. Yeah, barrier is definitely... Okay, now that I'm more familiar with the numbers, barrier is definitely working the way I thought it would work. So, no complaints on barrier. It's amazing. I take it back. It's an awesome spell. I knew we needed a spell like that before we fought the boss. That's why I... Such a weakling. He must have less total HP than I remembered. Oh, Blue, no! You've... Heed my words. Light will never exist without creating shadows and darkness. More will follow in my steps. You have my word. They might even be a dragon. But when that time comes, you'll be dead and long gone. Well, that actually wasn't as hard as I thought. It was definitely hard. If I were to refight that fight, knowing how barrier works a little bit better, maybe having Fella focus more on just healing, trying to get buy kill on blue quicker. Barrier increase right away, sap right away. That's not so bad. Oh, also I can move. Anyway, let's get out of here. Never mind, let's just fall down the pit. How low can you go? Well, I remember this place. Can we go outside? Nope, no magic. Well, what happens next, guys? We killed him, but then we fell down a pit. And now we're in a tomb. Oh no, more earthquakes. Oh, the pit's coming towards us. Run! Flee, you fools. Fly, you fools? I think it's supposed to be fly, you fools. Keep running. There should be Super Metroid countdown music as the world self-destructs. You have 1 minute to escape this dungeon before everyone dies. Hey, we made it. We're safe. Are we? Are we? A loud sound can be heard in the sky, almost as if the hole connecting the two worlds has closed. Well, isn't that nice? The world is all happy again. We've got light. Oddly enough, even if you kill Zoma without the light orb, light comes back to Alefgard. But, you know, you're supposed to use the light orb, even if the light orb is sort of what provides this world its light, because the hole that leads them to the real world is closed, so no light comes through there. What a happy place. It's you! We've heard all about you! Zoma's been defeated! What kind of person are you? This is truly unbelievable. Well, we'll talk about what kind of person we are in the next episode, to be fair. So I'm going to leave it here. We just won a super tough boss fight. I'm going to take a drink and celebrate. There's a lot of people to talk to. If you're familiar with my series, after I kill the final boss, I kind of like just visiting and chatting with all the people of the world. You know, we'll talk to our mom, we'll talk to the king, we'll cruise around and do all that fun stuff. But we're already, you know, 40 minutes deep, so it's time for a break. So, and also, I will let you know that there is some post-game. So, there is a bonus dungeon that we can do after you kill Zoma that might have some cool new monsters and super bosses. Zoma was tough enough, but apparently we can go further and fight someone even stronger. There's even another Pachisi board, guys. Best board in the game. So yeah, there's a few more things to look forward to, so don't quit on me now. But yeah, we're done the main game, except for some story wrap-up, which we'll cover tomorrow. So thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed, and have a great day.